Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Some more good news for the Texas Longhorns fan as they land four-star defensive tackle DeAndre Robinson from the state of Florida. I love this get, and you look at what Texas's defensive line class could look like at the end of the cycle, trending for Colin Simmons. You're getting DeAndre Robinson in the fold, a couple other targets that we're going to talk about. But a reason why I even more love this get is Texas. The reason I think Texas is back, and if you guys follow kind of our deep dive into this Texas program, extremely high on what this team will do in 2023, it starts with the physicality on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I mean, I think they have one of the best offensive lines, not only in the Big 12, but in the country heading into 2023. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball, very, very physical. Looking back at last year, a guy like Keandre Coburn being a dude that can just stop the run, eat up blocks, and be physical in the trenches. And you look at guys coming back this year, Tavondre Sweat, Sadir Mitchell. DeAndre Robinson, I think, fits that mold as kind of a two-gapper, a guy that when you talk about winning first and second down, getting to those third and long situations, DeAndre Robinson is going to play a really, really big part in that. We're going to dive into DeAndre Robinson's film, talk a little bit about what he's going to bring to this Texas program, and then take a look at what this class could look like come December when these guys are signing on the dotted line. Now, before we get into it again, just want to say shout out to you guys. It's been a blast talking recruit. You all know I'm a little bit of a recruiting nerd. Love kind of breaking down these commitments, and the support you guys have shown truly does mean a lot. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Almost at 7,000 subscribers. Can't thank you guys enough for all the support you guys have shown. And without further ado, let's get into DeAndre Robinson. 6'4", 315 pounds, and that's exactly that. I would kind of put him into that Tavondre Sweat, Keandre Coburn kind of group. And yeah, you might not get elite pass rusher, although I thought Keandre Coburn doing my draft stuff was an elite pass rusher for how big he was. I think more importantly, he's going to get you into those pass rushing situations. Like when you talk about getting pressure on the quarterback, that starts with winning on first and second down, stopping the run, getting offenses in those third and long situations. Then you can kind of pin the ears back and get after the quarterback. And I think DeAndre Robinson kind of fits what that mold is, and why Texas has had so much success is because they can stop the run. Looking back last year, 3.5 yards per carry given up to opposing running backs. This was a group that we haven't seen this kind of physicality on Texas, on the trenches, in a very long time. And I think that has a lot to do with why Texas can compete for a national title. Now, I want to turn on the film of DeAndre Robinson because he offers a lot. And I think the first thing you're going to see on this first rep is how well he can move laterally, which is rare. You talk about a guy like Jordan Davis, and I'm not going to comp him to Jordan Davis, but Jordan Davis was special because of how well he could move in space, how well he could move laterally side to side. DeAndre Robinson, right off the bat, shows how athletic he is, taking on blocks, very physical at the point of attack, and then getting outside and making a tackle. This is a dude that I think is going to be a stalwart in the middle of this Texas defense, and a guy that probably can play pretty early. And you see some athleticism, a little spin move, like really good motor, a little bend around the edge as well. Like this dude is not, I don't mean to sell him short because I think he can get after the passer, and you see some real athleticism, but I think where he excels is stacking, shedding blocks, and kind of cleaning stuff up in the run game. And then when it comes to, all right, third and long, now let's get some guys like maybe Colin Simmons. Look at the big dog be an athlete, though. Like he's a fun film study to watch because you don't see many guys this big, this powerful, be able to move like DeAndre Robinson can. I'm really excited about this guy. You see him getting to some edge reps here too. Like, again, just a really good athlete, some bend around the line of scrimmage or bend around the tackle. This is a dude that's going to play, and he's going to play early for Texas. And again, it starts with stopping the run. And I think what's even more exciting for Texas is just taking a look at what this class is and really what it could be. And this, we've been kind of preaching this for the Texas Longhorns is patience, right? With 3-4 weeks ago, we were talking about a Texas class that was outside of the top 60, only 3 commitments in the fold. They're up to 15 commitments. They're a top 20 class. And you take a look at what it already is and what it can be. First, on the offensive side of the ball, just absolutely love what they're doing. Getting a guy like Jarrett Gibson, one of the best backs in the country, and then guy like Aaron Hampton, and even a guy like Parker Livingstone, I'm a really big fan of. The offense is going to come. And I think what we're saying and what we're seeing is for Texas to take that next step. It starts getting to the point where, okay, we got to get those difference makers on the defensive side of the ball, specifically in the trenches. And Texas got two takes that I really like, Alex January and DeAndre Robinson. You see Texas have so much success with some of those big bodies in the middle that can stop the run. Guys like Keandre Coburn last year, guys like Tavondre Sweat, those guys were so influential in how good Texas's defense was last year. And you see them reloading with very similar body types. Alex January, DeAndre Robinson, both probably going to be playing around 320, 330 pounds when they get to school. And they're both plus athletes. Now, this is where it gets exciting for Texas fans because the amount of recruits, I should say, they're trending for is really fun. And it starts with the edge rusher, Colin Simmons, and that's kind of the recipe I'm looking for, right? DeAndre Robinson, guys like Alex January being able to stop the run, getting into those third and longs, and that's when Colin Simmons comes in, arguably the best pass rusher in this 2024 class. He's trending to Texas. Dominic McKinley, I think Texas is in the thick of things for that. That defensive line looks to be really, really strong. And obviously you miss out on a guy like Jaden Jackson. But hey, I'm going to say this. DeAndre Robinson, a nice consolation prize. And arguably maybe even a better prospect. Now, the secondary, also just really, really exciting. Kobe Black, Corian Gibson. You're talking about two of the top cornerbacks in that 2024 class trending to Texas. You already have a guy like Anthony Hill at that linebacker spot coming in the 2023 class. Specifically on the defensive side of the ball, like we know Coach Sark is going to get the playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think anyone has a question with that. What I think we're more concerned with is what is this defense going to look like? Can we get those difference makers, especially moving into the SEC? And a guy like Kobe Black, a guy like Corian Gibson, a guy like Colin Simmons, those guys will be very, very meaningful when it comes to having those playmakers on the defense side of the ball. And another guy that you talk about a fun prospect, Zina Umezulu, like a twitched up, freakishly athletic guy with massive upside. Now needs to put some weight on the frame, but you really can't teach the caliber of athlete he is coming out of Allen, Texas. For Texas Longhorn fans, you stacked a phenomenal class in 2023, and it's looking like it's going to be another really strong class for Texas. Just looking at the talent that's been on campus, I think Brandon Baker, you're still in the thick of things for the best offensive tackle, trending for Ryan Wingo, a 5-star wide receiver, the number 2 wide receiver in the country. Things are heating up. It's going to be a really fun and really good class. And I guess what I close out on is that this Texas team on paper, and we've said this before, like it's a team that can compete for a national title. We can't say that for many programs in terms of, do you have the playmakers and the firepower to bang with Alabama, to bang with Georgia? Texas does on the offensive side of the ball and on the defense side of the ball. And you talk about Texas winning a Big 12, which I think they should, making a college football playoffs and potentially making a push for a national championship, Texas being quote unquote back. That's when the recruiting really, I think, heats up for the Texas Longhorns again. I think it's really hard to see Texas not having a top 8 class when it's all said and done late December when these kids are signing their papers, because not only are they have a strong class right now, but the caliber of guys they're trending for in that top 20, that top 50, this is going to be a class that comes together. It's going to come together quickly, and it's going to be a really fun late July, early August for Longhorn fans. Again, appreciate you guys checking the boys out. Wanted to hop on, break down DeAndre Robinson, one of my favorite recruits in this 2024 class, a big get for Texas, and they're doing what they want to do in establishing that physicality on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Appreciate you guys checking the boys out, and we'll talk to y'all later.